Ladies and gentlemen, we're back.
Yeah.
It's been like 2 weeks, but we are back. And Elijah, guess what we're still talking about?
What's that?
We're still talking about football.
Wow, I would have never guessed. After all that time of not talking football.
Well, we haven't really been back because we've been busy because it's summer and the end of school. And also, there's like nothing going on in the NFL. So
Yes.
there's not much for us to talk about. If I sound like crap, I'm a little sick, but who cares? Let's get a roll on this episode. Today's playbook, as usual, we got the NFL news. We're going to do our second part of the QB crap. It's the NFC quarterbacks. And are we doing a steel curtain session today?
We can, yes. If
We'll find something to talk about.
Yeah, come on now.
Then we have a steel curtain session at the end. So, NFL news. There's been a lot, but we're just going to talk about what's happened this past week. Elijah, take it away.
So as of I think it was this morning that we're recording, Justin Jefferson is the highest paid non-QB NFL player in history. Well deserved, but he's got no QB to throw him the ball, so I don't know.
What do you mean?
Like
JJ McCarthy is like a national championship winning quarterback. Like,
yeah, and Sam Darnold
automatically make him a first rounder. Like,
yeah. Oh well. And then Brandon McManus gets cut. But that's honestly about it for this week.
And a sad one.
Oh yes.
Cowboys Hall of Fame offensive lineman Larry Allen died at just 52 years old. I think he was on a vacation with his family in Mexico.
Yeah.
That's
very,
insane.
Very sad. Yeah.
So, yep, prayers out to him and his family. And of course, Sam cannot walk down these stairs any more quiet. Good morning, Sam. Come on.
Oh. Whoops. Whoops.
Oh, crap. Speaking of crap, it's QB crap time. NFC North, let's get into it. We got Jordan Love of the Packers, probably JJ McCarthy of the Minnesota Vikings, Caleb Williams of the Bears, and, Jared Goff of the Detroit Lions. Elijah, let's start with your quarterback, Jordan Love. What did you like about last season? What are you expecting for this season?
Well, there was a lot of ups and downs with Jordan Love, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be a really good quarterback coming in the next season. His end of the year was insane. The start of the year, I was getting frustrated with him, but again, he turned out to be a really good quarterback. He had 32 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 4,159 passing yards. And you know what? He's going to lead us to a Super Bowl next year. So there's a lot of promise. He had like no name receivers, and he turned them into all Justin Jefferson. So I think we're good. So yeah, go Pack, go.
Sure. No, he had himself a terrific season. A lot of doubters, but that played well for sure. Next up, JJ McCarthy or Sam Darnold. I'm saying JJ McCarthy is definitely going to win the starting job. Darnold really hasn't played at all. I think the last time he played was against the Ravens, and that later.
I think he played that last game.
Did he?
Against the Rams. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember too well, but I'm pretty sure the 49ers benched all their guys. So maybe not.
I don't think they're with the poverty franchises. But,
yeah, exactly.
So obviously, what we saw from JJ McCarthy in college was, I would say, pretty controversial. Whether or not, I mean, they had a great defense, one of debatably the best offensive line in the nation, and a good running back duo. So McCarthy won a national championship, and that kind of put him into the first round. Then I would argue Spencer Bennett should have been a first rounder. I mean, So I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of JJ McCarthy. I have a feeling he's just going to be another Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
That statement could come back to bite me. I don't really care. Not a fan of the guy.
No.
I would be surprised if the Vikings got over 5 or 6 wins this season.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because Like they've got good players. It's just
Right.
they don't have all good players. Yeah, I don't think what the heck is his name? Oh, McCarthy's going to be good at all unless he's handing off the ball, which he's an all-pro at doing that. So um, we'll see Vikings, but let's just assume that you're not going to do well. Moving on to
That's
another
your prayer.
moving on to another rookie quarterback, Caleb Williams, first overall pick. Great. I don't like him. I think he's going to be really good actually in the NFL. Yeah. Unfortunately, or maybe not his first season, but I can see him getting a lot better throughout his career. And the Bears are just a bad spot to start your career. Just ask just about every quarterback.
Right, but he's got pieces around him too.
No, you're right.
You could even argue he doesn't have pieces around him. What I'm saying by that is, like, if you look at the team, Keenan Allen is old, and he had Phillip Rivers and what's his name, Justin Herbert throwing to him his entire career. So he's always had a good quarterback. And then you look at DJ Moore. I'm happy to say he's a great piece on that offense. Cool. Who else do they got? Cole Kmet. I wouldn't even call him a top 15 tight end in the league. In the backfield, you got, is it Khalil Herbert and...
I don't even know. I think
Herbert was starting. Yeah, but I would not call him a top 20. I wouldn't say he's up there.
No, he's not even a top 32 running back in the league. I can proudly say that. But
Kevin's better than that.
No, okay, come on now. But they did get
Dungy. I'm just not completely sure about how fruitful he's going to be in his first season in the NFL.
Yeah.
So you can say it looks like Caleb Williams has good pieces around him. In reality, are they still at the level that some of these players were, or can some of these younger players get to the level that they should be or could be? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that honestly depends on how well Caleb Williams can be a team player and be a leader on a team.
I do think the Bears did a really good job, because I am pretty sure that Caleb Williams would have pulled a Eli Manning wanted to get traded after he gets picked.
Right.
But the Bears did a really good job at getting a lot of targets around him. DeAndre Swift is the running back, by the way.
DeAndre Swift. Yeah, I wouldn't say he's a top 10.
No.
He's been a team bouncer. He was on the Lions,
the Eagles,
and now this is third team in 3 years. So
yeah, and another guy that got Gerald Everett too. I just looked that up also. But they did a good job of getting him targets. It's just you're the Bears and you have a terrible coach. We all know that. I don't know why he didn't get fired. And you're just the Bears organization. You're the Bears franchise, and that's just how it's going to go. You're probably not going to get 4,000 yards passing this season. Maybe next year, just not this season. And I could see Tyson Bagent making a return in the NFL. That was a joke, but yeah. We'll see.
I love Tyson.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's move on to
Motor City. Jared Goff. Obviously, last year got his team to the NFC Championship. Jahmyr Gibbs popped off. Montgomery popped off. Amon-Ra St. Brown popped off.
Yeah.
They're getting Jameson Williams back for the entire season this year. They got what's his name?
I'll just pull up a roster real quick.
He's the tight end. That was
Laporta. Yeah.
Yeah, Sam Laporta popped off. I mean, they have such a good team. I wouldn't even expect anything less than another NFC Championship appearance this year.
Yeah. And don't forget, they still have David Montgomery in the backfield along with Gibbs.
That's what I was saying. Him and Gibbs. I mean, that's debatably the best running back duo in the league.
Yeah.
Coming into this year. Obviously, they show that they were last year. So.
Yeah. And Jared Goff just got paid too. So, I mean, he's looking pretty nice for him, at least.
Right. Now, that's the issue. The Lions just paid half their salary cap to about 3 guys.
Yeah, so, you're right. But also, they've got some. They still have got young guys like Jahmyr Gibbs, obviously.
And they still got Aiden Hutchinson, who's going into his 3rd year.
Yeah, and Penei Sewell. Oh, no, they paid him. Never mind.
Paid Sewell.
Yeah, Laporta's on.
And they got like Jack Campbell.
Yeah.
Still. They got decent guys in the secondary. So, overall, this team should get back to the spot they were last year, but that all depends on how much Jared Goff can still lead this team.
Yeah, and to be fair, he's been doing a really good job. Nobody thought he was going to be doing this after he got traded.
No, that might have been the most even trade in NFL history.
Yeah, probably.
They
Yeah,
end up winning the Super Bowl.
yeah, and I would love to see Jared Goff back in the Super Bowl again. Maybe
For sure.
winning one, but I don't like the Lions, so I wouldn't like to see it that much. But is that it? Yeah, that's it for the North, right?
Yeah, that's it for the NFC North.
All right. So where do we want to go next?
Let's over to the East.
All right.
Jalen Hurts. Yeah.
Kenny
Dak
P.
Prescott. Daniel Jones. And Jaden Daniels.
Yeah. Or Mariota, I guess.
Mariota's not starting.
Okay. Or what's the guy from Notre Dame?
Oh, Sam Hartman.
Yeah, Sam Hartman. I guarantee he's gonna be a Kirk Cousins. It's gonna be another RG3 and Kirk Cousins season.
Yeah,
with Jaden Daniels.
Jalen Hurts and the best quarterback in the league, KP8, Kenny Pickett.
Yep. He's wearing 7 now, so it's not relevant.
So Jalen Hurts.
Hey, don't forget about Will Grier too. He's on there.
They started off great last year, and then had one of the funniest downfalls I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
The second half of the season, and they lost to Drew Lock and the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
That was great. Love that game.
A team that didn't even make the playoffs.
Shut up. I threw a pick to end my season.
I'm pretty sure you probably did.
Jason Myers made 2 field goals against the Rams, and that's why our season ended. Anyways, Jalen Hurts sputtered. The entire team sputtered last year.
Yeah.
Sirianni got cocky. Obviously couldn't back that up on the field. Some injuries, but overall just poor performances across the board from that Philadelphia Eagles team. Jalen Hurts would be part of the reason to blame. Had some dumb turnovers. Just did not look like that Super Bowl season quarterback he was. I would expect him to win the division this year.
Yeah.
There's no excuse. The Cowboys are, I would say, on the down. I would say they're closer to crashing and burning than, getting back to a Super Bowl. And I would say, so win the division, make it at least the divisional round again. And I'm looking at least 30-plus touchdowns for Jalen Hurts this year. That's just passing.
Okay. Wow.
And then I would ask for at least over 3,500 passing yards from him as well. If he wants to be an elite quarterback in the league, he has to put up the numbers. Because even with guys like Josh Allen, who don't have a great team around him anymore, he'll still be putting up numbers. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah.
Mahomes still going to be putting up numbers.
Yeah.
So if Jalen Hurts wants to be up there with the big guys, he has to put up those numbers.
Yeah, and he's got a good roster around him, obviously. A.J. Brown, he just got paid too, I think, right?
Yep. Devonta Smith.
Yeah, of course. And who else did they get? They get some other guys. But anyway, besides that, he lost Kelsey.
Right.
I don't know how Juergens is going to do as their center, but that tush push is probably going to be less effective as it was last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he's definitely got a team around him that can get him to another elite level. But he's just got to produce,
Right.
He's got to really not step down, because what we're hearing in camp is that Kenny Pickett is outperforming Jalen Hurts, and if Kenny
that's like 7-on-7s, bro.
Yeah, but still, if Kenny Pickett is outperforming somebody, then there's got to be an issue. And obviously they also got Saquon Barkley. I forgot about too. But,
That's true.
But anyway, he's got to step up. He can't be doing what he's doing last year.
Right.
He's just we'll see. And of course, Will Grier. He can definitely take the spot of Kenny Pickett, I hope. Anyway, I just wanted to bring him up, if that's okay with you.
No, it wasn't. I can't.
Oh, okay, great. I'm going to say it anyway. Moving on to the Dallas Cowgirls. Dak Prescott. Oof, I don't know.
Yeah, so they start off the year great, as always. Lose to 2 poverty franchises, then, I don't know.
They just did Cowboy stuff,
Yeah, it's so annoying, too.
Yeah.
So, obviously,
I think I think we have to give Dak Prescott a little bit of credit. He was the third best passer. He had the most passing yards, third most passing yards in the league. and he really had a good season. He was in talks for MVP for a little bit. It's just the Cowboys, like I said, for the Bears, it's the franchise,
Even the fact, I mean, he had 36 touchdowns and only 9 interceptions, so it's not like he was turning over the ball a ton.
No.
I mean, obviously, him and CD's connection can only get better, but the biggest thing is he's entering the final year of his contract.
Yeah.
And at this point, you're looking at a guy that he has no playoff success.
Yeah.
Maybe a game or two every couple of years, but he's not playoff worthy by any means. And you're looking at a guy that would probably want a bigger contract, or at least a contract of the same magnitude going in the next season.
Yeah.
And if he's not going to get you success in the playoffs, and you have a guy like Trey Lance who's never really gotten a shot, you take that risk and say, you know what, Dak, we're going to let you walk, because there's not really a great quarterback room in the free agency next season.
Yeah.
So do you let him walk? Do you sign him again? Do you start Trey Lance? They have some flexibility, but knowing Jerry Jones, he's probably going to make the wrong decision.
Yeah. So. I'm pretty sure he's in love with Dak Prescott, so I imagine they're going to give him a chance, or at least Jerry Jones will make them do. Right. I don't know what.
Well, they should have fired Mike McCarthy about 4 years ago. I would say he's more of the issue than Dak is.
Yeah. But the Cowboys always have a strong roster, so again, it's one of those things, like, if you're not winning with a strong roster, then maybe you're not right for the team anyway. So
right.
Yeah. Anyway, it's the Cowboys. They'll probably do the same stuff as they always do. So let's move on to the Giants.
Yep.
Okay. Daniel Jones, he's got a new receiver.
And Malik Neighbors.
Yeah. They also have Drew Lock, who I think has a fair chance of getting that starting job.
Yep.
And of course, Tommy DeVito, sorry. Tommy DeVito.
He's still on the roster.
I think so, yeah. I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't keep him, but yeah, I don't think he's going to be good anymore. I think I said the year before that he was going to be really good, but no, I don't think that anymore.
Nope. I never liked Daniel Jones. Never thought he was good. He never will be.
Yeah.
Not Daniel. This is Jaden Daniels. Elijah mixed up all their names. So, yeah.
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels. Heisman winner, had 2 very, very good wideouts to throw to. So this is not. The Commanders could be good every year.
Yeah.
Brian Robinson Jr. has the opportunity to be good.
Yeah.
Terry McLaurin has always been good. I love that guy. Jahad Dotson can break out this season if they utilize him right.
Yep.
They got rid of Curtis Samuel. He is now Bill. So, I don't know. I think Jaden Daniels is looking for 20-plus touchdowns and maybe over 2,700 yards. I think there will be a point in the season that he will have more fumbles than he will interceptions. Yeah. You've seen him get rocked? Bro, he gets rocked. So that's the biggest concern for him. I'm not sure how much they're going to want him running the ball with that, possibility of him getting hurt.
Yeah.
But I would say he can keep the turnovers to a minimum, but if he's not being aggressive, then it's not going to look good on his, downfield percentage and his touchdown percentage if he's going to play more conservative this year.
Yeah. I really like Jaden Daniels, actually.
Thank you.
I would have said I didn't like him before the draft, but I've actually seen a little bit more about him, and I kind of like him. And I think he's going to be really good. I think he's going to be what RG3 wasn't. Or maybe he's going to be just like RG3 because he has injury issues like RG3 did. And then Sam Hartman might be the Kirk Cousins of the future. I'm actually still behind that. But I do think Jaden Daniels is going to be really good. I like him, and I think him and Terry McLaurin are going to be really scary. And Austin Eckler, too. All right.
Let's see what happens. Yep. Second half of the NFC. Try to roll through this. Let's go to the South. Baker Mayfield, Kirk Chains, Bryce Young, and Derek car.
Yes. Baker Mayfield had a really good. Yeah, he had a really good season last year. Proved himself, got a contract, and he really
liked the guy. I just hated him because he was on the Browns, but like I'm starting to like the guy a little bit.
Yeah, I think I'm on that too.
The Baker bandwagon. Who thought?
Yeah, exactly.
Anybody would ever do that?
And I thought Baker Mayfield still should have been on the Browns. I still don't understand why they got rid of him, but you know, it's in the past.
Because overpaying a guy that plays about 2 games a year is a lot better of an idea.
I guess, yeah. But yeah, I think the Buccaneers found their guy after Tom Brady. I'm sure everybody thought that it was going to take a while to find their replacement, but they found him in a year. So good job to the Buccaneers. Good job.
But they took a risk on him too.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, Baker had been on what? He went from the Browns to the Panthers to the Rams.
Yep.
And then
to the Buccaneers.
So yeah, he's kind of a journeyman for about a year and a half. Found his spot, earned himself a big contract.
Yeah.
Signed Mike Evans to a big contract. Still got Godwin on the team. Rachaad White, I'm telling you, the guy can break out. He will be an all-pro eventually one day. I love Rachaad White. They just got to utilize him right.
All right. Kirko Chains and Michael Penix. So
Michael Vick Jr.
Yeah, Michael Vick Jr.
I know. Got it.
So they got Kirko Chains. I think he's still a good quarterback. He got hurt last year. I'm sure he was going to have a decent season as he usually does, but he played 8 games, 18 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. I think he'll do fine in Atlanta, especially with the targets that they got there. Kirk Cousins is one of those guys that you don't think every year you're like, oh, he's going to suck. But you know what? He puts up numbers every year.
Yeah, I've gained a lot of respect for him.
Yeah.
Seasons.
But, yeah. And then obviously they got Michael Penix. We talked about him a lot before, so I won't say too much. But for his future,
I say we will see Penix at least one time. I don't know about a full game, but I think we'll see him at least. Whether that be an injury again to Kirk Cousins, or he's benched, or whatever happens, we will see Michael Penix this season. And I honestly think he will shine.
All right.
I think say Kirk gets hurt, it's like week 12 or something. I would say the first 3 games, Michael Penix will struggle. Once he finds that groove, though, once he knows how to throw, like how to use Jake London, how to toss up balls to Kyle Pitts, to use them in the red zone,
or how to hand the ball off to Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, that too. I think either quarterback has the opportunity to succeed, and they should succeed on this team.
All right, Bryce Young, kind of a bust if you ask me.
Dude, he played 1 season and he's on the Panthers. Give the guy a break.
All right, but
he didn't play terrible.
Stroud played 1 season and was on the Texans, who I think is even worse than the Panthers. So I don't think that's an excuse at all.
You just wait. Sorry, you kind of cut out. What'd you say?
I said C.J. Stroud played 1 season on the Texans, who I think would have been worse than the Panthers. But you know what? He turned out to be one of the greatest QBs.
Insane drugs.
Okay. You think Bryce Young is good? 11 touchdowns.
Terrible.
10 interceptions.
He was close to 3,000 yards.
Oh, that's great. Close to 3,000
as a rookie
yards.
With the offensive line of like...
He played 16 games. Justin Fields played 13, and they have very similar passing yards. And Justin Fields has 16 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Bryce Young has 11 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
Bryce Young had Adam Thielen as his number 1 overall. Number 1 wide receiver.
Adam Thielen had one of his best careers on the
for the first 5 weeks, and then everybody put him in fantasy, and then he sucked.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Bryce Young is not good, and I will stand by that. Sure, he was on the Panthers, who suck, and will be sucking this next year, but I just don't think Bryce Young is good.
I don't think
if you prove me wrong, please.
Terrible situation.
Sure.
And I could argue C.J. Stroud.
You know who else was in a terrible situation? Mac Jones. Do you think he's good?
He had a good coach.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm defending the Panthers right now.
Yeah,
but
come on.
Bryce Young did not play great last year. Obviously, his small frame and terrible offensive line do not mix well together. Did not have a great wide receiver core. Didn't have a great anything around him.
No.
He's not great himself. Looking forward to next season. He's probably going to stink again. Panthers probably going to stink again. But they need to look just for some bright sides of the future in Bryce Young. He seems one of those quarterbacks that it will be to the point of where it's that fifth-year option. Don't extend him, where he's going to run out his first or his rookie contract. And then from there, you're going to say, here, you're going to go walk and play great with another team, or you're going to stay here and play decent for us. So,
all right.
That's on me.
Yes, sir, per. All right, let's move on to...
Stop saying that.
Let's move on to the Saints, who have Derek Carr. Kind of an underwhelming season, but you know what? He still put up some decent stats. I think we all expected a lot more, though, to be honest. 25 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 3,878 yards. He played. I thought he got hurt a lot more, but it says he played 17 games.
17 games, yeah, which I definitely thought he played a lot less than that, but
maybe he got hurt like throughout, and they just brought in guys. But I don't know. I still think he is like one of the most underrated QBs in the NFL. He played for the Raiders for a long time. I don't know. I think he'll be fine next year. Probably putting up the same stats, if you ask me. But yeah, that's all I got.
I would like to say I think the world needs to stop acting like the Saints are still a good team. And I mean that with basically everything in me. Cameron Jordan, he's old. Alvin Kamara, dude's still great. I love Kamara. He's old. Michael Thomas, he's old. Olave, good, but he doesn't really have anybody that like throw the ball to him. They have Shaheed, he's underutilized. So, I mean, I just think the world needs we got to stop acting like the Saints should be playoff contenders every year. They haven't been since Drew Brees left, and they could have utilized Jameis Winston a lot more. They didn't, and he wasn't great either. I just think they're in a cycle of you got to find somebody. Now, with who they didn't draft a quarterback. Oh yeah, they got Taysom Hill.
No, they got Spencer Rattler. Yeah, they drafted Rattler.
Spencer Rattler too. Do you think I would roll out Taysom Hill as the future? Do you think Rattler could be the future?
I think so. I mean, he started out to be what was it, a year ago? He seemed like he was going to be a really big deal, but then he just kind of sucked. So I think there's a chance. I mean, he might be a Brock Purdy. He might be, I don't know, another good example. But there might be a reason why he was drafted so late. But I think with the Saints and Derek Carr, who has a lot of injury history, I think he'll definitely have a chance in New Orleans. Just whether or not he's going to be good is going to be the question. Obviously, that's a question for any QB in the league. But
right.
I don't know. I think the Saints have just, without Drew Brees, it's been a whole lot of nothing. So maybe it might take a few years. I mean, it's taken the Broncos like 10 years, so it might take the Saints just the same amount of years. But we'll see.
It's the Sean Payton effect.
Yeah, really.
Maybe he's the problem, which I honestly would not be surprised if he would.
All right, fair enough.
All right, last but not least, NFC South. No, NFC West.
Yeah.
Peter Smith, Brock Purdy, Matthew Stafford, and
Kyler Murray.
Yep. Yeah. Let's start with runner-up of this year's Super Bowl 49ers. Brock Purdy had himself, I mean, top 5 in the league for passing yards.
31 touchdowns,
11 interceptions. Has debatably the best roster around him. And they just added more, like Ricky Pearsall onto this team. So I think last year played great, got his team to the Super Bowl. This year, I think they could be back in the Super Bowl easily. Yeah. They should be. I wouldn't say it's a disappointment if they don't, but if they get to the Super Bowl and they lose, that's a disappointment.
Yeah.
if they are in the NFC Championship game, they should win out their season. Just saying. And I would say they have a shot again to be the number 1 seed in the NFC. I would just say for Brock Purdy, keep those stats up. I'm not sure if he'll beat. I mean, this guy, it's only his 2nd year in the league.
Yeah.
So he obviously hasn't entered his prime yet. I think he could throw for over 4,200 yards, which he did last year. Maybe get 40 touchdowns. That'd be awesome if he could. If he could get 4,500 yards, 4,600 yards, that'd be awesome too. But even just looking at the stats, like Tua, he had 4,600 yards this year. So,
yeah. Do you think we'll ever find out if Brock Purdy is like a legit quarterback since he's on the 49ers, one of the best rosters in
all of football? In about 2 years when the Niners can't pay anybody anymore and Purdy could still be on the team or Purdy somewhere else, then we'll find out. Purdy will not be on the 49ers his entire career.
Wow.
I can guarantee that.
All right.
That's a bold statement, but he will not be on the 49ers his entire career.
I mean, that's true. I always thought Aaron Rodgers would be on the Packers forever, but clearly that was not true. So
they all move too much. There's so much money. There's so many coaches moving. There's so many players that it is not like we will never see an NFL again. Like we did from those like early 2000s to like 2015.
Yeah,
that was like prime NFL.
Yeah,
but all right, Geno Smith. Once again, an underrated quarterback, and I'm not trying to be biased here at all. He's underrated.
Yeah, I agree.
3,600 passing yards, 20 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and he only played, I think, he played 15 games, so missed 2. Drew Lock played for 2 of those, and he played okay. One of them he won. So, Geno Smith, I would say just he could be accepting that if he does lose his starting job at some point in the season, Sam Howell could be a valid quarterback to lead this team. Sam Howell did play great last year. I don't know why people hate on him so much. I like him a lot.
He just had too many interceptions.
Yeah, but I mean,
21 and 21 is pretty insane, if you ask me.
Winston did 30 and 30. What's your point?
Do you really want to do that?
He has played well for the 2 years he's been the starter. He got a contract. So if I'm Geno Smith, heading towards the end of your career, you obviously want to win. Probably aren't going to win a Super Bowl. But I just think if you kind of ease your way out of the league and it's just not how the end of your career like you wanted it to go, just remember that you were like one of the best players in the league like the last 2 years, for quarterbacks wise. So
all right.
I don't know. I'm not expecting anything too much from Geno, but if the team and the roster he has is a 6-win team, I'm going to be very frustrated.
Okay, let's move on to the Rams, my third favorite team.
All right, third favorite is insane.
Matt Stafford, he had another good year. He played 15 games, 24 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, almost 4,000 passing yards. He'll be fine next year. He's got a Puka Nacua who's probably only going to get better. And maybe declining Cooper Kupp, you might argue that. I don't know. But either way, he's still got a good offense around him. Who's their running back again? Williams or something?
Tyron Williams, and they got Blake for him now too.
Yeah, exactly. So I think he'll be in a good situation and he'll do well again. And then finally, if you wanted to add anything, sorry.
No, I think Matthew Stafford is still, in all honesty, if Stafford could find a way to win a Super Bowl this year, he's Hall of Fame in my books.
Okay.
In all honesty, too, with a healthy Cooper Kupp, Blake Corum now in that backfield, I would argue this team are dark horses for the Super Bowl.
Okay.
It's a tough division to do it in,
even without Aaron Donald.
What's his name? Kobe.
Turner.
Turner. He's the next Aaron Donald. He's not going to be Aaron Donald, but for the Rams, he's Aaron Donald.
Nice.
So I think he's going to fill that spot fine. I think they should make a splash trade, getting a big DB or bringing a linebacker or somebody.
Who was the Bills guy that they got? I forget his name. Oh, Tre'Davious White. They got Tre'Davious White.
Oh yeah, Tre'Davious White. That's right.
Obviously, he's but other than that, yeah,
he's old, injury prone, but still not terrible. Yeah, I would say Matthew Stafford could easily make this team a dark horse for the Super Bowl next year.
All right, finally, the Cardinals, Call of Duty, Kyler Murray.
Oh, you're hilarious.
Thank you. I think he's one of the most underrated QBs in the league. I kind of wish that the Steelers would have traded for this guy. I actually think he can be really good. Last year, obviously, he got hurt. Or he was hurt from the start of the season, wasn't he?
Murray, yeah. He tore his ACL last year against the Patriots.
That's right. Okay. So, yeah, I think he can be really good. That's all I really have to say.
Okay. Yeah, so he only played 8 games last year and had nearly 2,000 passing yards. So not terrible. 10 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Desmond Ridder played 15. He was obviously with Atlanta. 2,800 passing yards. And he was at 12 and 12 for TDs and interceptions. So obviously, I would say Kyler Murray is still the main guy here in Arizona.
Yeah, they're paying him a lot.
They have Rondell Moore.
Yeah.
They got.
Let's see. Oh, they got Marvin Harrison. Marvin Harrison.
Oh my God. Yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. That connection can be absolutely insane. That connection will be better than DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray. And if you're a Packers fan or a Cardinals fan, you know exactly what game I'm talking about. That's when I feel like the Cardinals just went downhill. Yeah.
Come on now. Yeah. That was my favorite game ever to watch.
His controller just disconnected. But and no, James Conner proved that he can still be a top 15 running back in the league.
Yeah.
I was very happy watching him succeed somewhere last year. I love James Conner. He's always just going to be a pick guy.
Yeah.
For me, I just love his love for the game. I mean, he was 6th in the league for rushing yards last year.
Yeah. I still wish we would have kept him in Pittsburgh, but nobody agreed with me, so oh well.
He had 80 rushing yards a game. Didn't even fumble the ball at all last year. So, I mean, they still have a top guy. Technically a top guy. If he can stay healthy, this team, honestly, I think could get over 500 and maybe make a push for a late playoff seed. I would, with the addition of Marvin Harrison this offseason and a healthy Kyler Murray, I would watch. This team could be sneaky this year.
And don't forget the guy out of West Virginia, Dante Stills. Going to have a breakout year again.
Who?
Dante Stills, defensive tackle. You'll see next year when Geno Smith gets injured.
He's not bad.
He's good. I guarantee you he's hurting Geno Smith. And we're going to hear another mic'd up moment from Geno Smith, but with Dante Stills.
All right. Well, that's it for your QB crap.
I think we could we could mention something in the Steel Curtain session, but it's nothing more than a minute. Steelers.
Here we go.
Pittsburgh. Okay, moving on.
Yeah, so we're not going to talk about really anything about the schedule because we are starting our prediction extravaganza over the next however many weeks, but over the next 8 episodes.
Yeah,
we'll be going through each division, each team, predicting their schedule. So we're just going to save it for the Steelers.
Okay.
Save it for that. So
okay, that's
okay. Real quick. Who is your starting 3 cornerbacks this year?
Oh god.
CB1 or CB1, CB2 and slot.
Joey Porter.
Okay.
Jackson.
Yep.
And Corey Trice.
Okay, great. Thank you. I love you.
Oh wait, no. Wait. Let me change that. Let me change that. Corey Trice isn't slot, so I'll say Beanie Bishop, slot corner.
Get out of here with your undrafted free agent garbage. No,
come on, we don't have another slot corner.
I like him. All right. Anyways, thank you for listening. We'll talk more about everything Steelers in the upcoming future. But I'm Levi Jenkins alongside here with Elijah Coer. This is the Huddle, and we will see you all next week or whenever we feel like recording again.
We're back. Peace.